Welcome. Today we're doing a bit of a deep dive, unpacking four really fundamental things: money, sex, affection, and love.
Yeah, and we're looking at these through the lens of just one source, this really interesting video excerpt someone shared.
Exactly. So our goal here is to sort of distill the core message from this specific source on these, vital parts of life, get you the key takeaways quickly.
And what's quite striking, I think, is how this single source connects them all. It's not four separate things, but a kind of interconnected view.
Right. It suggests how you handle one really impacts the others. It's less tips, more, maybe a philosophy, from this source's angle anyway.
Definitely. It feels quite cohesive.
So let's jump in. First up, money. What's the source's take on how you should get it?
Okay, so money. The source is pretty clear. It says it should come from correct thinking, hard work, and real effort.
Standard enough, maybe,
Yeah.
but it has a warning, doesn't it?
It does, a strong one. It warns specifically against begging for it or using force to get it.
Begging or force. Why such a hard line against those? What's the consequence according to this?
It's quite stark, actually. The source says doing that leads straight to humiliation. It makes you small.
Small.
Huh. Yeah, and it even suggests you can get used to being humiliated, which is, wow. So it's not just about being broke. It's about, like, diminishing yourself fundamentally.
That's a heavy link.
Yeah.
The method you use for money affects your actual state of being. Earn it right or risk being sort of lessened. Okay, let's shift gears.
Okay.
From the practical to something, complicated. Sex. What's the caution here from this source?
This is another strong warning. It talks about constant obsession, the constant pursuit of sex.
And it frames this obsession in a very particular way, right?
Yes. It calls it a direct path to addiction, and not just any addiction either.
Calls it the most destructive form, I believe.
Exactly. The source spells out why. It says this kind of obsession can ruin your spirit, your mind, your body.
And even your family foundation, it mentioned that.
Yes, the whole foundation. It paints this picture of like total collapse, personally and relationally, just from that one obsessive focus.
That's intense. Linking that kind of specific obsession to such total destruction makes you think about what counts as obsession by this definition. Okay, moving to something seemingly softer, affection, or mohabbat, as the source terms it.
Right, mohabbat. And this is where the view gets really distinctive.
How so?
Well, the source basically argues that you shouldn't seek true kindness or affection from other people at all.
Not at all. Where should you find it then?
Within yourself. It has to be cultivated internally, found inside. Seeking it externally isn't seen as healthy.
And it has a name for that external seeking behavior, doesn't it? Something specific.
It does. It calls it affection seeking. Meritalabi. And it labels this behavior not as, a normal desire for connection, but as a type of psychological illness.
An illness, wow. So needing that external validation or warmth is a symptom of an internal problem, according to this source.
That seems to be the implication. It really flips the script on where genuine affection comes from. It's not transactional, it's internal.
That's definitely a challenging idea. I mean, seeking connection feels so human. To call it an illness suggests a very different understanding of affection itself. Okay, last one. Love, or esh.
Esh, yes.
What's the core idea here?
The main point is simple but quite profound. Love cannot be forced. You just can't make someone feel it or give it.
Okay, so you can't force it. How does the source say you recognize real love then? Is there a test?
Yeah, the sign of genuine love, according to this source, is basically unwavering commitment. Someone who truly loves you finds a way.
Finds a way to be with you.
Finds a way to be with you, gets past obstacles, uses any means necessary, and crucially, they don't leave you for any reason. It's a very high bar. Absolute, maybe.
So real love sticks around no matter what. What about trying to force it? If you ignore that first principle.
You try to force love, the source warns, it only brings bad things. Humiliation, disgrace, and ultimately, hatred.
Humiliation, disgrace, hatred. Hang on, those sound familiar.
Yeah.
That echoes the warnings about getting money the wrong way or the outcome of obsessive sex. Humiliation seems to be a recurring theme for actions rooted in lack
Right.
or force.
I think that's a really sharp observation. There seems to be a clear line drawn by this source. Actions coming from internal virtue like hard work, self-control, inner kindness, not forcing things, they lead to good outcomes.
Whereas actions coming from, say, dependency or obsession or coercion.
Those lead to ruin and humiliation.
Oh,
Exactly. The source consistently connects your personal integrity, where you source your value from effort for money, yourself for affection, mutual feeling for love. It links that directly to fulfillment and safety.
going outside that, relying on external demand or force.
That's presented as inherently destructive across the board. Money, sex, affection, love, the pattern holds.
So, thinking about the source's perspective, perhaps the final thought for you, the listener, is this. How might rethinking the source of your fulfillment, looking inward, relying on effort, letting love be natural, how might that change your approach to these core areas of life? Something to consider.